Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and that means live Q&A. We get the opportunity to interact. We get the opportunity to say hi to each other. I get to thank you for your weekly viewing. I appreciate each and every one of you. For those of you that have been with me for years, thank you very much. For those that are watching for the first time, welcome. I think One Rental at a Time is a very unique channel. It is a channel where you can look to get 5 videos a day. Most importantly, it's not about me. I am lucky enough to have 8 or 9 millionaires on this channel every week. We do tackle 3 topics each, all with the intention of giving back, answering questions, and really talking about our business. So while One Rental at a Time is my umbrella message, it is really a collection of hundreds of years of investing, multiple millions of dollars in net worth, cash flow, all of that stuff. So thank you to each and every one of my experts. Thank you for watching, viewing, and thank you for interacting with me today. Today's about you, pretty much like every day. I'm going to go ahead and answer any of your questions. If you caught my impromptu live stream yesterday, if you want to talk about that, we can do that. The hour is yours. So I do have some topics, but let's welcome the people that have already joined or said what's up here. So Tamika, good morning. Thank you very much for watching. Nathan, good morning. John, good morning. Thank you. I appreciate you too. And Nathan, good morning. Again, folks, this is for you. Feel free to ask questions. I am here for you. A couple of things to kind of note. Something that I put in the title is something that I truly believe and probably will catch a lot of people by surprise. It is rather simple. Do you know how to make $1 million and do absolutely nothing? Now, it could be $1 million, it could be 100 grand, it could be $10 million. Do you know how to quote unquote make $1 million and do nothing? This is a serious question. This is why Dion, Matt, Anna, Jonathan all talk about time in the market is better than time in the market. If you owned a pile of real estate the last couple of years, you made a lot of money and you did nothing. I believe it was last week. It might have been the week before, but Dion from Dion Talk shared with us. I think he said 19 units. It could have been 21. I forget. Let's call it 20 just for shits and giggles. He made $600,000 in the last year and he did nothing. He did nothing. The lumberjack, his portfolio now is 91 deep. He's been on an acquisition binge. I'm going to guess he probably made $1.8 million last year and did nothing. Olivia and I own more than that, and you can do the math. Folks, if you want to use inflation, you can use inflation. Get cash flow assets, get this ridiculously cheap debt. Yes, I know it's not quite as cheap as 3 weeks ago, but Matt, the mortgage guy, and I told you, if you like it, lock it. Sometimes it is that simple. Hold assets, right? If you've been doing this for any length of time, one rental at a time, if you've been with me for this 3-year journey, you made some money last year and you did nothing. This statement's probably going to piss some people off. Sorry, it's just math. I don't know what to tell you. We did nothing and it happens. So I don't know. That's why folks like Grant Cardone can call himself a billionaire now, which is something I've seen him do here recently. You own I don't know what it is, 10 billion bucks in real estate and it goes up 10%, congratulations, you're a billionaire. And I don't know the numbers. I'm just doing math. That's why real estate, being a landlord, is so important. Yes, being a landlord is hard. Yes, when the government gets involved, it's hard. Yes, yes, yes. There are so many good things. Don't get lost in the negative. The negatives pass. When time in the market comes, good things happen. When you're early in the journey, you're going to be probably like I did. Cash out refis, 1031 exchanges, keep building that base. Never get adjustable rate mortgages. Never bet on appreciation. All the rules apply. But you hold these things 4, 5, 8, 10 years. Man, good things happen to you. So let's see who else has joined and we will get started. Nathan, I think we said, Nathan got a question. Okay. What are your thoughts on owning rental properties with siblings, pros and cons? This probably would boil down to your siblings. I can tell you with 100% honesty, certainty, I would never own a piece of property. I would never own a car. I would never own a business. I would never own anything with my sibling. Just the facts are, we see the world differently. It is just how it is. It's not meant to be malicious. It's just we have not got along. We have not seen the world the same way in 30 years. Not going there. Ain't going to happen. Some of you, your best friend could be your sibling, and maybe that makes sense. I would tell you any partnership, whether sibling or not, up front, you need to do the work to talk about how do you break up, right? How do we resolve this? Because siblings, stuff happens. One of you could get married or divorced. One of you can have a health scare or not. One of you could decide that you want to go start a new business and you need capital. So no matter who you're working with, sibling or not, get that breakup agreement or how you dissolve or wrap up before you really start. That goes for any joint venture. Thank you, Nathan, for the question, folks. Again, these questions, I'm here for you. I'm happy to talk about anything you would like, including the topics from yesterday. Good morning, Better Home Rental. How you doing, man? Invest to Wealth. Good morning. How are you? Yes. I'm going to say Jairus. Thank you. Yeah, do the work. Yeah, I actually created one of the things that I created was a hoodie that I actually work out in because it's kind of cold. It says do the work. Yeah, do the work. Invest to Wealth, 16 units. Okay, is that what Dion has? Yeah. I gave him 4 more. He's going. Jersey, what will happen with the rent when depressions happen? I can honestly say that we haven't lived through a depression yet. The Great Recession was pretty nasty. Well, I would tell you this, Jairus, is typically what happens in a nasty recession, and I'm going to guess happens in a depression, is people lose their job. People lose their job. That typically will mean that they will lose their homes. And typically speaking, people will not want to live in their cars. So people will double up, triple up. They will have roommates. They will live with family. Rents went up during the Great Recession. They didn't go up a lot, but they were strong. They did not go down. As long as housing maintains as long as people don't want to live in the car or live on the street, rentals will be fine. Airbnbs probably in trouble, right? If you're having Airbnb by, if you're counting on this or that Airbnb short-term rentals, probably in trouble, right? What will happen in a depression? People will stop traveling. People will stop vacationing. But everybody needs to live somewhere. They will down select. They will partner up. They will roommates. All of these things. Yep. That's what happens with rent. Morning, Lumberjack's on. Shout out the Lumberjack. Morning on. Your guess was legit. Every day isn't Saturday yet. Yeah, the Lumberjack, you could be done tomorrow if you wanted to. Janet, good morning from Torrance. Good morning. How are you, Janet? I'm learning from you a lot. Thank you very much. I'm self-employed, trying to follow you and the Lumberjack. Smart. Yeah, that's a very, very you picked some quality people there, Janet. All right. So, folks, again, keep asking your questions. Have some fun. What do I want to do next? Oh, here's a question for you. So, I don't know if you realize this, but the last 18 months, yeah, 18 months, maybe 20 months, um, the flow of foreign capital has dried up significantly. We are about to start opening travel. The world is about to be reopened. Maybe January, maybe February, whatever. We are going to be done with this horrible event uh, very shortly. I suspect a lot of foreign capital. Think about China. Oh my God. Have I not just been hitting China hard lately? If you are rich or shoot middle class in China, you cannot like what's going on. You just cannot like. The government's take, 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 take. So that's why I talked to Jonathan on Thursday about Japan. Jonathan was living in Japan, one of my experts on Thursday. And he highlighted a story that he saw firsthand. There were many Japanese that were loading up suitcases or duffel bags or whatever they were um, um, uh, with cash, yen, and jumping on a plane and flying to the US. How much capital? How much capital is going to flee China? Because it's going to go one of two ways. Chinese government's going to lock it down and demand for the return of their capital, or the middle class and above are going to be like, I am out of here. I am taking 10, 20, 30, 50% of my net worth and I'm getting it out. And frankly, the best thing to buy in the world is probably US real estate. I wonder what happens. Because again, I've been thinking about it. Because again, I've been in Southern California a lot, right? That's kind of where we traveled when we couldn't go anywhere. We jumped in the car and drove down the 5. And I saw a lot of homes owned by Chinese that were like barely lived in. One of my thoughts were, are they going to be forced to sell? Maybe. And if so, that probably hurts Southern Cali real estate a little bit. That's a lot of inventory that could come on the market. I'm actually starting to think it's the reverse. We're going to have more foreign capital. And I'm talking Australia, South America, Europe, Asia. I am starting to think that more and more folks are going to come cherry pick some assets in the US. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, that's something I'm playing with. Let's see what other questions we have. Thoughts on a HELOC for down payment? So again, I'm very conservative, even though lots of people like to talk about leverage. I believe, and I have used, and I consider a HELOC like a 401k loan, which I have well documented using. I don't mind using a HELOC, home equity line of credit, if you can pay it back in a year. I happen to work in a profession where my money was very lumpy, right? Commission checks, RSU, stocks, right? I made basically nothing for months, and then I got a big bump. Nothing for months, and then a big bump. So I used the HELOC a lot, but I always paid it back within a year, usually less than a year, because I could plan for those lumps. So yeah, I would always do a good deal. And we had a HELOC on the place that I'm talking to you from. We used it, but I always paid it back. I do not approve getting a HELOC, loading it up with rentals, and not paying it off. Yeah, that I don't like that. Hey, Chris, good morning. How are you? Jason, I have a real estate LLC, okay, and I want to profit from the LLC to legitimize the business. I have a primary residence with a significant amount of equity. How can I profit through the LLC? Well, that is definitely a question for your accountant. Obviously, the easy things, which are things I'm sure you've already thought of, is you can take a lot of expenses and run it through the LLC, including a home office, right? Again, talk to your accountant. I am not your accountant. I don't know your situation. Everybody's situation is different. But yeah, you can have legitimate expenses that used to be paid personally, paid out of the LLC. Cell phone being the most obvious, internet at home, because I'm sure you're working from home. But yeah, talk to your accountant. I am not your accountant, and don't want to lead you astray. Are HOAs an absolute no? Thoughts, Terry? They're not an absolute no. I bought a condo with an HOA. I had to pay cash for it because I treat the HOA like a mortgage that will never be paid off. Um, I'm against, generally speaking, HOAs because of the rules. They make it hard. I've seen HOAs blow up because I've been doing this for 20 years. I've seen special assessments just wreck people. Um, Plus all the rules. And some HOAs don't allow you to do rentals, and they watch the percentage and all of those things. So generally speaking, HOAs are a no, but if the deal's cheap enough, I put it in my spreadsheet and it works out sometimes. I still own it. I'll probably own it forever. That's a good question. Let's see. What is that? Cyan Raz. Hopefully I'm saying that close to correct. Unoccupied homes purchased by China investors in the US. What do you think will happen to those homes? Well, there's really only a couple of things that could happen. One, again, the central government of the China could say, all foreign capital must come home in the next 12 months or you're going to jail. I mean, communist regime could say whatever they want, right? There are no rules of law. They can change their mind. If, and that's a huge if, the Chinese government said something like that, well, guess what would happen? They would sell them and they would bring their capital home. I don't think that happens, but it could. It's in the realm of possibilities. The other thing is it just stays as is, right? A lot of these folks bought homes, especially in Southern California, for their adult kids to go to college. That was kind of the loophole that they had to get foreign capital out. Hey, if you want to send your kid to the U.S. for school, you can buy a home, right? Stick them in the home, him or her in the home. If that's the case, then, for most of those Chinese folks, it's a savings account. So it stays vacant. It just is. And then the third one is they buy more. I'm currently leaning on they buy more. I think what happens over the next 3 to 5 years is wealthy lose faith in the Chinese economy. They don't like what's going on. This kind of social reset and take from A and give to B, not very good. So my guess is they buy more. But again, it's one of those three things: either forced sell, nothing, or they buy more. I'd love to hear from you, but those are the options that I see. Know thyself. Good morning. How you doing? Invest well. This question might be more for the lumberjack. Okay. All right. We'll get there. Let's see. Can I claim tools like ladder, drills, etc. in my taxes for investment properties? Yeah, you can. I did that. I know I did. Like I did. There was a time in my life where I proved I wanted to paint. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, we bought all that stuff. We wrote it off. Yep. Yeah, it's all used for the rentals. Sean, curious your thoughts on why the 10-year has been going down since the Fed announced tapering. That's cool, huh? It went down huge on Friday. I think that is just a general view that people like how slow they're going. The taper tantrum was successfully avoided. It will not stay this low, is my guess, going forward. But yeah, that's been a wild ride, right? From 1.6, I think, to 1.4 something. Let's see. 1 second. Let's see how fast I can find it. CNBC bonds. Oh yeah, 1.455. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got to, now how much did it fall? It fell almost 0.07. So yeah, it will not be this low. But yeah, I think it's just people happy that they didn't drop it by 20 billion and 10 billion. They only did 10 and 5. Yep. That's what I think. But Sean, love to hear from you. This is two-way street. If you have ideas, I'd love to hear them. Invest to already did that one. Ava, when Baba dropped after Ma went missing. Oh yeah, okay. Lots of people bought it as a great investment, and my thought was Chinese economy is unsafe for capital. I think you're talking about Alibaba. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Ava. Again, one guy's opinion, but again, I think the U.S. stock market is unsafe. So what do I know? But yeah, I think the Chinese central government has declared an all-out war on wealth. Yeah, and I think it was Alibaba talked about. I think it was a month ago now that they've already seen a reduction in transactions. The Chinese consumer folks, it is a layup. They've gone on strike. Again, we talked about it, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. The Chinese central government, some idiot in the Chinese government said, stock up on food. Do you know how much? If you heard, I don't know, anybody in our government, the top 10 most powerful people say stock up on food, you know the shock waves that that would send through our economy? Not only would we race to the grocery store and stock up on food, we would stop doing everything, right? It's shelter, it's food, water, shelter. Like you mess with those three things, you are not going to Starbucks. Starbucks, stop selling coffee in China or yeah, in China, right? Didn't stop, but great reduction, right? It's just the Chinese economy is blowing up right now. It's just the October numbers are going to be gnarly. They're going to be so bad, they're going to have to lie. And not that they've already been lying, but it's going to have to be a story of epic proportions. Yeah, it's crazy. Know thyself, agree, and I'm personally not buying anything from China anymore and also selling whatever holdings I have on that front. Good news is I own nothing and will own nothing. I don't have that. That said, I don't own any U.S. companies either. Invest to wealth. Thank you. You're welcome. Where'd we go? John Doe. Do you see higher interest rates helping investors in the sense it will take competition out of the market? It's actually interesting. What typically happens, and again, this time could be different because we're coming out of my first pandemic, just like it's your first pandemic. Historically speaking, as rates rise, slowly rise, not skyrocket rise, as they slowly rise, the first 6 or 9 months, you actually pull demand forward. I'm not sure this happens this time because there's been a lot of transactions, right? We're over 6 million transactions. But historically speaking, a rise in interest rates actually makes owners come off the sidelines. Like, oh my God, I missed the bottom. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So I still think that could happen. But yeah, rates are too low. They just are. The Fed is in the market. The Fed has created a fake economy with too much leverage. A lot there's so much cash in the system. It's unhealthy. They got to get out. And rates have to go up. If we want a chance of getting back to normal, the Fed's got to get out. And that means higher rates. Yeah. Your opinion on using realtors to rent out your house versus property managers? I've only ever used a property manager. So I really don't have an opinion. I don't have experience with using a realtor. Again, I've only had a property manager, so I don't know. And using Hemlane to self-manage, I think there's a lot of things in Hemlane that would have benefited me in the beginning. Now with nearly 200 units and a dedicated person, I have all that done. But in the beginning, and I've shared it many times, Olivia and I had split duties. I was finding deals and securing capital. She was running the books. Her life would have been immensely easier if we had Hemlane or like solution, because it would have been an audit trail. We would have been able to track our search capabilities. A lot of what Olivia did for those first 5 or 6 years. All right, guys. Who's fighting who? All right. So here's Sonny, everybody. You've asked for him. Sonny's here. I'll get happy in a minute. But back to the question at hand. Sorry. A lot of what Olivia did in the first 5, 6, 7 years was audit expenses. You have no idea how hard that was when all we had was paper receipts and Excel spreadsheets. Because again, we started before the internet was really a thing, at least before applications were there. Her life would have been, oh, so much better. And those first couple of years of taxes, oh my God, we had to bring, oh, so much paper. I could not imagine doing that today. So online applications, whether it's Hemlane or any others, are a lifesaver for audit trail searching, communication. It would have made our first 7 or 8 years so much easier. We didn't even have a lot of units. Man, I think I guess by year 8 we did. But by like the first 5 years, we had 10, 15 units. She spent more time the first 5 years than the last 5 years because of online systems. So you got to have something, in my opinion, whether it's Hemlane or others. Yeah, Baba is the ticker symbol. Ava, I caught on. I thought we were singing a song for a minute. That was funny. But yeah, Baba is Alibaba. Yep, thank you. Can U.S. restrict China investors in real estate and give priority to U.S. citizens to get homes? I don't know. Anything's possible. I don't see that today. I mean, Canada is doing that. Or at least I thought they did. I think didn't like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, or maybe that was just a proposal. I thought Canada restricted foreign buyers for 2 years. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was just a proposal. But yeah, could the US? Sure. I don't see that being discussed anywhere, but sure. And for that matter, why would we only pick on China? Why don't we pick on Australia and South America and Canada and Europe? Why don't we just limit all foreign buyers from buying US homes? We could. We could. Generally speaking, I don't see that happening, but anything's possible. What are your thoughts on the mortgage and eviction moratoriums? Well, the eviction moratorium has always been unconstitutional. My thoughts on that are very well documented on this channel. Again, being unconstitutional doesn't mean they won't do it, as again, well documented on this channel. Thankfully, they are over for most of the country. I think there are still 4 or 5 states that are on till January 1st. If the eviction moratorium is really nonsense. If the powers that be want to say the economy is healthy, why do we have an eviction moratorium? So I think it's always been unconstitutional. Yeah, and then the mortgage moratorium, that's just about over. Although I do think the Freddie and Fannie have extended it for big apartment buildings, which I think is really odd. I think there's some real pain in Class C apartments across the country somewhere. It was really odd to see that from whatever, one of those damn government agencies, that they are continuing it indefinitely. I think I read it's crazy, but they got to get over. And again, the mortgage moratorium is not going to lead to foreclosure wave. All of these channels scaring you with foreclosures. The last time I read Black Knight's numbers, we peaked at 4.3. We're now at 1.3. 3 million people cured. 1% led to a short sale. 40,000 homes, nothing. Yeah. Know thyself. Several markets are already trending close to low yield or alligator zones due to the climb in prices. Yep. Where higher interest rates chain markets are good for investors. Well, again, one of the things that you will see, in my opinion, is some markets will become unaffordable. If you know my story, you read my first book, the affordability index is what I track. And I've been very clear with everyone. If Fresno, which is my chosen market, gets down to about a 20 or 21 on the affordability scale, I will sell my houses. We are still in the mid 40s. But we have to remember there are 3 variables. 3. Most people talk about 2. A lot of YouTubers talk about 1. YouTubers, they talk about price. Like price is the end all be all. And oh my God, the price in 2021 is above 2006, thus the market will crash. You're an idiot. You're just dumb. The second one people talk about is interest rates or payments. That is at least better. That is an informed person having this conversation because people buy houses on payments. Awesome. And you are correct when you say payments will go up if rates go up. Awesome. You are 80% of the way there. There is the third variable that almost nobody talks about except me. And is because I did the 50 years of research. I did not know this until I did the 50 years of research, which I give away for free in my free course, and it's in my paid course in the bonus section. And that is income, wages. What have I been telling you on this channel for the last 6 months? We are in a wage inflation cycle like we have not seen before. So if wages rise faster than the payment impact, there will be no impact to housing prices. Prices will go up. And it doesn't have to be much, right? I think the other day with Ty, we talked about what happens if the mortgage rate went from 3 to 3.3, the payment goes up about $80. So $80 times 12 is $960 a year. Do you know how much your income has to go up to afford an extra $960 a year? Less than 2%, right? The average income for a family is 70 grand, 68 in change. Folks, this is the reason that housing, rent, and interest rates and price went up in the 70s is because wages were racing higher. So just because we have prices going up and interest rates going up doesn't necessarily mean affordability could go down. Wages are going up across the country. That means people can pay more. That means they can pay more rent. Again, if you're on my Instagram or a part of my Facebook group, you saw that I put out a shirt yesterday that says, what does it say? Let me pull it up just so I don't misquote it. I think this is a powerful, I think I took a picture of it. One sec. Yeah, here it is. It says, I use inflation to get rich. Ask me how. Look at that bad boy. And we're going to move this to the sleeve, I think. But anyways, the reason I can use inflation, the reason the lumberjack, the reason anybody that owns rentals is your asset goes up, your rents go up, your cash flow goes up, your NOI goes up, and your debt stays fixed. And you pay it off with cheaper dollars. This wage inflation is going to be awesome for landlords. It just is. Where did we go? Sean, Zillow has so much information about rents and sales. Okay. Do you think they might have gotten out of flipping due to seeing a recession coming? No, absolutely not. My opinion is the CEO of Zillow is running scared. When you run scared, you do the absolute stupidest things. I think, yeah, he is getting into the iBuyers game is a calculated risk. Getting out when you are being stupid, he could easily become a landlord. He could easily joint venture. He could do all these things. No, I don't think so. I think giving Zillow credit for anything other than being the worst flippers in the history of mankind is being gracious. They used artificial intelligence poorly. They thought artificial intelligence could solve real estate. They can't. They're the worst flippers ever to exist. So to think they go from being the worst in flippers ever to exist to the best prognosticators is a reach I am not willing to make. That said, I think a recession is coming. I don't think Zillow sees a recession coming. I think Zillow is, God, the CEO is so. I was an executive in tech companies, and I know what it's like to see your CEO scared. He is scared. And you make horrible decisions as leaders when you are scared. Do you think Chairman Powell will be replaced? What are the odds How will that impact rates if placed? I think Powell's gone. I do. I think Powell's. I don't think he should be gone. I think the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. But I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I think the market will not like it. I think rates will go higher. Yeah, I don't. And frankly, I don't know how Powell could stay there. Powell, under Powell's watch, some of his direct reports did bad things. It may not have been illegal, but they were bad. And I think he should be replaced for that. I mean, I say both ways, right? I hope he's not, because of we need to unwind this thing with the guy who did it, as opposed to bringing in someone else. But the fact that a lot of his Fed presidents were trading stocks and were benefiting from what they knew was going on was not cool, himself included. Not cool. Yeah, I think he's gone, and I think rates go higher. Then it's up to each county. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Did I miss something? Then it's up to each county. I'm not sure what that means. Why does Warren Buffett sit on large amounts of cash? Good question. Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, all sitting on record amounts of cash. Why do you think that is? Is it because they're scared? No, I don't think so. Is it because they like making 0%? No, I don't think so. Do you think it's because they know they're going to lose money due to inflation? Yeah, I think they know they're losing money. They both look at what's going on in today's economy and going, everything is overpriced. There are no deals out there. We will just let our cash sit there and wait for the party to end. Warren Buffett will wait for blood in the street. Jamie Dimon will wait for blood in the street. It's coming. It's coming. Next year, year after. Don't know when, but it's coming. The business cycle is real. Jamie Dimon, Warren Buffett sitting on cash because they want to be there when people need cash. It is that simple. Yes, Warren Buffett is not probably, he is absolutely waiting for a deal. Janet D. How you doing, Janet? It is a great time to get a call back from a realtor to see if I'm interested in a property and was willing to negotiate the price already. Yay! Folks, the great real estate slowdown is real. If you're one of my students, I keep reminding you, the last year or so, all of you have been probably paying list price, maybe even over. Go back to your spreadsheets. Put in numbers 5%, 8%. Shoot, go for 10% lower than asking and see what happens to that yield calculation. I want you to take an exercise today if you're one of my students. How much lower do you have to offer to increase the yield 1%? I want to hear from my students. You know who you are. Sometime this weekend, come back to this video and tell me, Michael, I have to offer 7% less or 4% or 12%. I don't know. Leave the comments below. Sometime this weekend, you have 48 hours or 36 hours. Let's see what you guys can do. Lubert, hopefully I got that right. Love this stuff. Thanks, man. I love this stuff too. It's fun. Love the shirt. I need one that says, but does it cash flow? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm set to close November 29th. How do I get a card? Oh, I'm so happy for you. So you can go to my website and send me an email. The last page says contact. It's like 4 questions. You can tag me on Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram. Just send me your email. Congratulations. Excel sheet. I don't know what that means. All right. I think I got all the questions. Let me see. What else? Oh, let's do a little checklist for landlords for 2022. Can you believe 2022 is almost here? Crazy. So a couple of things to think about. As we're heading into the end of the year, If you were planning to do any capital expenditures early next year and you made some money with cash flow, do the math. You might want to do them in December versus January because, again, you can write it off this year versus next year. Just go ahead and look at that. Second, it's a good time to evaluate your screening process. Again, for some of us, we're heading into the slow season because of the winter. It's a good time to look at your tenant screening. There's a good chance that we come out of this in the springtime with, a strong economy, at least for the short term. Look at your rent. If you're not looking at your rent, if you're not doing the binder strategy, it's a huge mistake. If you don't know what the binder strategy is, it is in my course. Dion from Dion Talk has used it to get tenants to ask for rent increases. It's a genius methodology. But yeah, evaluate rent. If you're new to the course, your whole first goal is to understand average. What's an average deal in my market? Don't rush it. It takes 60, 75 days. And then finally, rates are going up. How fast and how long, don't know. But if you can get cash flow, 30-year cheap debt, you can use inflation going forward. So again, 2022 will be here in a heartbeat. Make sure you are ready. Let's see. Janet, keep checking reduced prices homes and repeat open houses to get great deals. 550 to 515. I'm happy I waited. Congratulations. Yay. Hey, Vatsal, how are you? Started deal at 1.55, finished at 1.31, put the yield in the 30s. Patience and doing the work. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I love to see people winning. I love it when people win. And again, if you want to make a lot of money and do nothing, own assets that are protected or used by inflation. Yep. Sean, do you think with people over ordering to make up for slow supply chain will lead to oversupply when supply chain is fixed? Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Double ordering, triple ordering. I've been talking about that the last 2 or 3 weeks. It will happen. Yes. 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 Have you ever lost in real estate investing? If you know my story, it's about time in the market, not timing. So I have bought real estate that went down. I bought from 2006 to 2010. I bought about every 6 months. Every property I bought from 2008 to 2009, I lost net worth. Absolutely. In fact, my total portfolio went down 40%. 40%. But they all cash flowed, so I didn't have to sell. So if that's what you're asking, yeah, absolutely. My market went down for single family homes 70%, 70 or 75. Thankfully, I was in apartments at the time, so I only went down 40. But my cash flow was fine. I could hold for it to return, and boy, has it returned. I have now flipped 58 homes. The least I made was $9,000, so I never lost on a flip. But really, the point of this is I plan to hold my real estate forever. And if you hold your real estate forever, it's hard to lose. I obviously wrote about the alligator I had, which was really stupid. So I lost money every month for about 2.5 years until I sold it. So yeah, I've made terrible mistakes. And again, having my net worth fall 40% for me didn't matter. It probably drives some of you crazy. I never looked at it. The only time I look at my net worth is when I have to fill out a financial statement. It is an unimportant, uninteresting, and total BS number. But yeah, my net worth fell 40%. Didn't bother me. Rents went up, cash flow increased. It was all good. So yeah, I've lost just like everybody else. It's ironic. Fixing the supply chain might put us into a recession with oversupply of goods. Exactly what I see coming. Yes. That is what I see coming. Yep. The question is when, right? The supply chain is really broken. Yes, I have a trust. Most of my, well, again, if I were to die today, Olivia and Teresa would get everything. My intention is not to die today. So my intention is to have 30 to 40% of my assets pay for an amazing last 20 or 30 years of my life, just like top notch. And then when I go kaput, Teresa gets everything. Yeah, that's what I've chosen to do. Yield in the 30s. Congratulations, Matt. Man, the lumberjack's just killing it. If you didn't catch our conversation, I don't know when it was, but yeah, he bought his first $1 million property. I think he listed it there 1.3, 30%. He is doing awesome, just crushing it. All right, what else do I have? I guess I'll close on this. This is kind of a repeat of yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday's live stream, you really should. Quiet desperation is real. It was really sparked by a Joe Rogan and conversation with the three amigos on Thursday. If you are in that state, and again, I was there. I lost 150 grand. Dion was there. He got divorced and had a negative net worth. Lumberjack was there when he left school as a teenager. You have to own it. Recognize it. Don't blame others. Own it. 2, you got to stop digging, whatever it is. And again, this is money. This is your health. This is fitness. This is relationships. This is kids, whatever it is. Then you have to focus on fixing it and doing it every day for a long time. For me, that allowed me to build a real estate portfolio that led to financial freedom. For me, that ultimately led to flipping 56 or 58 or whatever it is homes. For me, that meant creating a book, a YouTube channel, Instagram, website, courses. You can turn your hobby into real money. I think it is the lumberjack that says it's never been a better time to monetize your skills, experience, and what you are good at. He is so right. For a lot of people, an extra $500 a month is huge. You can do it today. It is work. It is daily discipline. It is focus, but it is absolutely 100% in your control. What are you going to do? All right, that's what I have for you today. If you're one of my students, I will talk to you in 12 minutes in our private Facebook group. If you're not a student yet, what are you doing? You know you're going to buy it. The course is going to be more expensive January 1st, so buy it now. Let's get going. Let's do the work together. Have some fun. Take care. Bye. Hi, son.